love having containers in my garden because they add a little art and a little flair to it too. You can use pretty much anything that will hold soil enough to support the plant and support the roots, and that will allow water to drain through. It's a great way to start, especially if you don't know much about gardening. You can just start with one container, so you don't have a whole lot invested in it, and you gain your experience, and then you can add once you learn.
Unlike in-ground gardening, container gardens fit well with the average Las Vegan's lifestyle, fitting into both busy schedules and limited spaces. You can even grow your plants indoors. All you need is soil, sunlight, water, and a container with drainage. And consider starting with easy successes like edible plants or cacti.
You can have edible plants indoors in containers. You just need to make sure that they get enough sun exposure, and most edibles need at least 6 hours. Edible containers are great, and if you want to start with those, herbs are some of the easiest plants to kind of learn the tricks of the trade, if you will. They don't need a whole lot of attention, plus you can snip them off for your culinary uses or for teas and things like that. Cacti you can put indoors or outdoors, just make sure that you have the right exposure. And what's wonderful about containers is you can put them on wheels and move them around to kind of optimize those as well.
Naturally, different plants have different needs, but species with similar needs can successfully grow together in a single container, provided it's roomy enough and has the right kind of soil.
For instance, if you are growing your cacti and succulents, you have a completely different type of soil mixture for that. It's very well draining, and you might see little rocks and things in there as well. With edibles and other container gardens, you want it really fluffy, because what ends up happening in your containers is the soil starts compacting. That's just kind of a natural occurrence. So you can add things like perlite, small lava rocks, or pumice to keep that fluffiness in there.
Container gardening is just as much about the container you use as it is the soil. The right container can help you avoid missteps regarding two of your garden's most crucial needs: water and drainage.
First of all, you need to know that containers typically dry out faster than in-ground beds. And it also depends on what type of container. Your terracotta pots, I love how they look, however they wick the moisture away, so they dry out even faster. The smaller containers dry out faster, and the more shallow containers dry out faster. You want to make sure that you have drain holes in your containers. So a lot of those wonderful ceramic pots don't have holes in the bottom, and so when you're pouring water into it, you think it's dry when the water's collecting at the bottom, and then it causes root rot and things like that.
And be sure not to let some of the old gardening myths get in your way of success.
A lot of times, and this is a mistake I made way back when, is I put rocks in the bottom of my container for the drainage, which in reality it makes the pot very heavy, but it also decreases the soil for the roots to grow in, and it also decreases the amount of water that can work. So don't use rocks. Typically what I'll use is either a paper towel down in the bottom or a coffee filter, and then that way the soil won't fall through and you can still get that drainage.
Container gardening is a great way to beautify your home, optimize water use, and keep tasty culinary herbs at hand. If you're ready to try your green thumb at it, you're in luck. The Springs Preserve has upcoming classes covering topics such as Gardening 101, Natural Garden Design, Pruning, and Drip Irrigation. You can always drop by to talk to our experts about any questions you have. For more details, visit springspreserve.org.